Hey, I'm Captain Eddie Castello and welcome to my shop. Today we got a great little project. Oh, it's a little project, it's a cute little project, but every wood turner that does nice pieces needs to have one of these. It's called a business card holder. Yeah, it's one you turn yourself. Now that's not that difficult, right? But turning it and not having it break out and spall and getting cracks and all, that sometimes can be difficult. So today I'm going to show you how to rig it up, how to put in a dummy, no jokes, okay? How to put in a dummy or a shim piece, and how to turn your own. Then I'll tell you where to get the cards. And it's all coming up here. All you have to do is watch. Getting material ready to turn for this project is critical. Right off, pick you a piece of nice figured wood. A piece of turning stock, 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, works out really nice. Now you're going to put the groove in it first, but so your fingers aren't so close to that saw blade, you're going to double stick tape that to a block of 1x. I just had some 1x4 left over from a swing I built for the twins. I double stuck it together and I used a clamp on it, let it sit about 15 minutes. That lets it sit up nice and well. Then I go to the table saw, set it to about 15 degrees, and I make my cuts. Now, the bottom of my cut, or the high point, wants to be a little bit to the far side of center, so that the top of the cut, the low point on the table saw, is a little bit to the near side of center. And the cut wants to be about 1/4 inch wide. It's not critical, don't worry about it. Look at the thickness of 8 or 10 business cards, and that's what you want. Pass it through the saw, get a good clean slot in it, and then take it off the block. Now, to fill the joint, go to your saw, slice off a piece that'll be very close, and then sand it for a good tight fit. Drive it down into it, and you don't want to put any tensions on the wood, so you want it just a good snug fit. And then trim it off. Once you have that done, you've got your turning block. Now we're going to take it over to the lathe and mount it to a glue block. Now, because it's hard with that slot in the top to get the true center, I found me another block, a waste block, that's going to go on the cap. I cut it to the size of the block, and again I put it on with double stick duct tape. This is SureTape, S-H-U-R-T-A-P-E. I found it at Lowe's. It's a double stick duct tape. It's a little bit thick and sometimes it gets a little movement in it, but otherwise it works really well. Now I've got the block with the cap on it, with the center on it, and I'm going to put super glue on it to a waste block. And then I'm going to let it cure. Not dry, cure. And that means I put a little accelerator on it to make sure it stays right where I want it at. And then I'll wait about an hour, maybe less. And then I know it's good and set, it won't blow off my waste block, and I can go to work on it. So now the block is ready. Let's crank up some lathe. Once we have it held, now it's been on a super glue for about an hour. I put the waste block on the face of it to get it centered, and that's on with double stick tape. And I could take that off any time now, but I feel better working between centers. Once I have all this done, then I've checked it, spun around, it runs clear. I'm going to crank it up at about 1500 RPMs. And with my roughing gouge, I'm going to take some corners off. I'm not too aggressive now. Good sharp roughing gouge can give you a lot of precision. Give you a nice finish too. Rub the bevel, and you can hear it just about round. With that waste block in there, I'm not getting any splintering, chattering, or digging in when I go past this insert, which allows me to have a really smooth round piece. Now, if that wasn't in there, I could crank the RPMs up to about 3,500 RPMs and go around this smoothly, but I always have the chance of breaking off these little fine corners as it comes around, the ones that are sticking out. This is giving it some support, which is why it's in there. The next is put some shape on it. You want to get in a better position? I think you do. For the next step, I turn the speed up a little bit. I'm going to use my small 1/4 inch wide flute Ellsworth, and I'm going to start adding some shape. Well, let's back pedal a little bit. I just touched up the Ellsworth because I want a really sharp shape, sharp cutter on this. Backpedaling, and then when the cut gets too heavy, get out of it and get rid of the waste material. It's not doing any good anymore, is it? So let's dump it out of there. There. When you're making these sweeping cuts, don't forget you have to move your tool for the radius. My explaining is, I'm coming up over here and I'm going to turn this 90 degrees. My tool has to swing that 90. See what happened with the tool? I went from over here to over here. I swung the full 90, and that way I have no flat spots on it. I got a little bump right there where I parked for a second, but I can take that out. With my slightly negative rake scraper, back and forth until it feels nice and uniform. Now, that's a boring looking piece. I'm going to sand a little bit, then we're going to make some decoration. I get this pad holder from Vince Welsh at Vince's Wooden Wonders, where I get my Blue Flex paper. He's got these holders, he's got the pads, the spinning pads, because this would even work really well with the self-powered sander to come around these corners. Better remember to stay in that 437/30 end of the sanding to get the best effect. Hey, thanks to one of the guys that watched the video and contacted me, I made some adjustments to this. You have to see this. You really have to see this. Now, this is the self-powered sander we did. Remember, it's straight on here, and it's got a 45 on this end. But this is what the adjustment was. And this is from a viewer. Did you hear that? That wasn't sound effects. That was real, true life. That and this. Well, that one's kind of doopy. Alright, what I did was drilled it from my bushing, but instead of putting a ball bearing at the bottom, I put a spherical magnet. And I can't say it again. So I got a magnet that looks like a steel ball. And I got it from KJ Magnetics. And I put that in the bottom, and it holds the pad in. It also holds in the decorating genie, which you're going to use in a few minutes, and all. So if you want to do one of these, and you want the bushing and you want the magnet, I can sell you the bushing and the magnet and 2 regular ball bearings because they're already in the kit, and they're 10 bucks a pop, and they're $2 shipping, so it's $12 total. And I put it on our website, so if you want one, I can send them to you. 2 for $22 or something. But so you don't have to order the magnets from K&J Magnetics and pay the freight from there, and you don't have to go shopping for that bushing. I've got the package together, and just got to go to Vince Welch and get you a pad. And I have it for the large 3-inch, and also have the 2-inch down here, because I was doing a bowl this morning that was smaller, and it fits down there. The 2-inch is a little bit short, so I put that bushing on it, but I don't need it anymore because that works out just to the perfect size. That ball bearing lets it spin, and it keeps it in there. Nice. Alright, we're going to get back to this piece. But if you'd like to get the bushing and the magnet, go to my website, check it out. Now, this is ready. I'm ready to do a little decorating on it. Maybe I'll put another grid on it. But sanding's like watching grass grow. So I'll sand this and then I'll show you the decorating. For the first one here, I'm just going to do something rather simple. Come up about a 1/4 inch off the bottom. And I'm going to put 2 burns in. What I did was take my Stott, my homemade one, out of a Sawzall handle, and I put 2 grooves. That gives me a liter. And then I'm going to go into that groove and a puff of Smoke Hi-Ho Silver. I'm going to put 2 burn marks in. That would be really cool is to go between them and put a little detailing. But I loaned out my cutters because a fellow woodturner couldn't find any, and he's not on my happy list right now because he failed to bring them back. So, with that, oh, by the way, if you're looking for the burrs that work in your decorating genie, they're rather easy to find if you check Enco, E-N-C-O. And I tell you what I'll do. I'll put one of the item numbers up right here. Go to that area and you'll find single cut burrs of a couple of shapes. You want single cut, not the double cut. And you'll be able to make your own decorating genie. Now, that, guys, is the makings of a nice card holder. Now, a good wax is a simple fix for this. So let's put a good wax on it. For a wax, I like the soft Hut. You can also use the Renaissance. That comes up really nice too. Well, when you put it on slower, I'm going to reach past you. This is still paper towel. It's a little bit more of industrial strength. It's got a little more fiber. I find it buffs better. Then crank the speed up and burn it in. And what you're also burning in is some of the dust, so the pores feel a little bit nicer. And that has got a really nice finish on it. Now, the key to taking this off, we have it on a waste block. That waste block's the one I had left over when I did the watercolor piece. I don't throw waste blocks away. There's a stack of them on the counter back there. They always get used up until there's nothing left. And then I might glue it to another piece if it looks like it's in good shape. When you cut it off, you want to go negative. Straight is positive. If you go up a little negative, then you put a little recess in the bottom and it sits better on the table. Alright? Of course it's alright. Now, we have it up at a speed. I'm going to use the same buffing cloth to hold it. Get a little grab on it, get comfy. And Also helps me stabilize it. And you can't see it because I got it hidden behind all the girth I have here. I'm going in for undercut. I'm cutting more red than waste block. And this is Badukan. I'm not real crazy about the smell of it, but it's beautiful. See what I was talking about? I will take my little, see why we're not getting in, there we go. I will take a little sharp knife and knock that off. And that way it'll sit on the counter better. Got it? Got it. Once you take care of getting that little tit off the bottom, and I use my little 2-inch sander in my Fordham sand detailer, and I clean the bottom up, I will put my name on this with my little NKS engraver, very small, just because it's mine. Then I take the shim block out, and because I didn't glue it in, and it's just a tight fit, it'll just come right out. The corners now are really clean and crisp. There's no tear outs, nothing. You can pass a little sandpaper through it, but you don't want to round them off. The purpose of doing this whole thing was not to have them rounded off. So, and that's on this project. Next project, a little bit different. And then insert your business cards, and you have that. Isn't that cool? Yeah. I even got lucky and had my cards done right where it says, these are my Bayou Woodturners cards. Bayou Woodturn is my name, and you can see it outside. But when I display work, even at an auction, I like to add my business card holder with my business cards. And when it's all said and done, I give the people that held the auction the business card holder and thank them. They always have my name. Sneaky, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, if you don't have business cards and you're looking for an economical way to do it, Vistaprint.com. Vistaprint.com. It's right here. You get a hold of those folks, and they'll sell you cards for maybe $5, $10, $15, something like that. They jack up the shipping to offset the printing, and then they send you tons of advertisement. The beauty of that is you get a good deal, and you can always hit delete when you get the advertisement. They're going to hate me for that. But you get some pretty business cards. Think about the holder when you format your cards, so your name is proud in the front instead of in the middle or at the bottom, and it gives you recognition. Remember, the best thing you do in advertisements is repeat the name. Captain Eddie, Captain Eddie, Captain Eddie, Captain Eddie. See how that works? Okay. And that is today's project. I'm Captain Eddie. Captain Eddie, Captain Eddie, Captain Eddie. And I've been making shavings, making shavings, making shavings, making shavings. Hope you had a good time today. Oh, be safe. Oh, wondering about this? Winter has came to South Louisiana. I mean, outside, it is 54 degrees. I had to go long pants. I even got socks. Well, it's cold. I even put underwear on today. But winter has hit South Louisiana. Here it is, the third weekend in February. And it gets this cold, I'm moving. Take care. See you later. You guys that's had snow? I'm sorry. Yeah, it was just automatic. Bye now.